The Little League Northwest region continues. The boys from Montana want redemption after an extra inning loss last night, but Wyoming looking for their chance to advance. Win or go home, Wyoming, Montana, next. Day 3 in San Bernardino, Al Houghton Stadium, the site. Northwest region play continues as Gillette, Wyoming takes on Missoula, Montana. Hi everybody, Trey Bender alongside the longtime Major League closer Greg Olson. Glad you're with this double elimination format, and there's really a sense of urgency here at the park.
Yeah, both teams are coming off hard losses. Montana last night loses 3-2 in extra innings, and Wyoming's coming off a hard-fought big loss to Washington, 12-0.
That was on Sunday. Now last night, this is a quick turnaround for this Montana team. They had a chance to win it.
They did have a chance last night. They had plenty of opportunities. They left 12 guys on base. Adam Jones was a hero, going 5 for 7 so far this tournament.
And less than 12 hours later, they're back on the field. Oregon, the LeGrand Little Leaguers, with a 3-2 7-inning victory. So Montana, they need to get their wits about them, and this Gillette, Wyoming team has been a bunch that fights hard and hoping they can play their best baseball.
Yeah, they had an off day in between their loss on Sunday. They just struggled in their outing. You know, the first time here in a long time.
The winter season will come to an end. It's Montana and Wyoming. Northwest region play continues from Houghton Stadium. First of two today in Northwest region play. It's an elimination game as Gillette, Wyoming and Missoula, Montana square off here. Wyoming is 0-1. Montana is 1-1. As we take a look at the batting order for the Gillette kids, beat Laramie for the state championship in Wyoming. And Mason Newland is going to be their pitcher. Has not had an at-bat, but he'll be leading things off. It's a team that really had a tough time doing anything positive offensively against Washington.
Yeah, they had a day off to think about everything and probably work out some kinks, so I'm excited to see what they're going to bring today.
And they're going to be facing Adam Jones, who is their best athlete and not just a great player, but a very good pitcher as well. You see the mask, suffered a broken jaw in their run to a state championship. It's great to see him out there, and he has really showed a lot of character.
He's had a great tournament so far.
Really swinging the bat well, and they're counting on him to give him some quality innings here, the 12-year-old left-hander. Defense around him, you see McCarthy, he has been a pitcher. He's going to be catching here, as Matisic is a guy that's spent all the time behind the dish, and he gets a break. And we are underway. The first offering to Mason Newland, ball one. Michael Poore calling balls and strikes. Dave Miller, Jerry Schoonover, and Greg Bogdanoff around the infield, first, second, and third base. Well, Wyoming, that time off, how did they respond? You got to shake off a little rust, don't you?
Well, that's the question. Both teams are coming off hard losses, and I'm curious to see. I'm sure they're both very thankful to be out here playing again.
Strike call on the inside corner. Gillette, Wyoming, known as the nation's energy capital, coal mining, the big industry. And we've seen Cody, Wyoming here in the past in San Bernardino, and Gillette beat Cody on the way to the state championship.
Nice swing by Mason right there.
Jones with the 2-2, took something off that one, and he strikes out Mason Newland.
Nice breaking ball down out of the zone. Adam Jones, after starting off the count 2-0, comes back, gets back in the count. You can see the breaking ball barely above the dirt. Great pitch.
Well, they really lean on this kid, and you see the respect coming off that injury, but he's just a gamer. Whatever he does out there, he's a leader as he faces Corey Schilling now.
Works fast, gets the ball back. He's back on the rubber, ready to go. Love the tempo, keeps his defense involved.
Schilling with a base hit to right field. Goes opposite field, and a base runner for Wyoming.
That's got to be encouraging for the the Gillette boys right there. They didn't get any hits on Sunday, struggled at the plate. Second hitter of the game comes up and hits a nice hard liner to right field.
So 1 out and 1 on, and that brings up Josh Lubin, the right fielder. We touched on the fact that it's less than 12 hours to turn around. You know, they're kids, and is it the physical or the mental turnaround that's toughest for Montana after that loss last night?
Well, at 11 and 12 years old, it's more about the mental part. You know, those guys are still probably at 2 in the morning reliving that game and going through all the things that they wish they would have done a little bit better or differently. And next thing you know, you're waking up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock trying to grab a quick breakfast and get out there and take BP. It's all mental. These kids are too young to be having the physical issues of.
Here's Nathan Zimmerscheid now. Nice bunt there by Lubin, but Jones was on it to retire Lubin for out number 2. That did get Schilling down to second base, so a run-scoring opportunity now for Wyoming.
Good breaking ball right there by Adam Jones. He has found the release point on that pitch so far in the first inning. Done a nice job of keeping it down.
0-2. Fastball got him. Strikes out Zimmerscheid, and that ends the inning. A hit, first of the regional for Wyoming, but a runner stranded. We're through half a frame in this elimination game, Wyoming and Montana. Wyoming and Montana, Northwest Region play continuing. Day 3 here in San Bernardino. A look at the kids from Mount Sentinel Little League in Missoula, Montana. Colin McCarthy, coach's kid. Adam Jones, coach's kid, batting the top part of the order. They've got a lot of pop 1 through 4. And Caden Sheridan and Adam Jones having a big regional so far. Yeah,
the 3 and 4 hole hitters have been scorching hot. 5 for 7 for Adam Jones, and Caden Sheridan's 4 for 6.
And they'll be facing a 12-year-old right-hander, Mason Newland. Big Jake Lamb fan, loves the Diamondbacks.
Got nice mechanics, throwing hard. This should be a good battle. Montana's been swinging the bats well.
He's not vocal, quiet kid, but tough out there in the diamond. And special talent, the Rubik's Cube, as we look at the defense. Zimmerscheid in center. Dorr, a coach's kid, playing second base. Mike Dorr, his dad.
Schilling out in left field with a single in the top of the first.
So here's a look at Schilling. Went opposite field with that single.
All right, I'm sure that Wyoming is more than ready to get this thing started, get some physical activity. Get the nerves out. Top of the first didn't quite get it done, so you got to get out in the field and get moving a little bit to shake off all the edge and the rust that you got from a hard game on Sunday, day off.
Colin McCarthy rolls that one. It rolls fair back into the field of play, and he's out. Retired Stashel to Collada 5-3, but it was rolling left. You don't see that often. It came back in across the chalk into fair territory.
Well, that's what he did last night. He led off the game with one of those and got a single out of it. And today, you could see Stashel initially reacted thinking it was going to go foul, and it looked like it caught chalk. Just all of a sudden bounced a little bit to right and ended up being a fair ball.
Cooper Elliott pops up. He's retired on the pop-up to first baseman Collada, 2 down.
Good pitch right there, fastball up and in. Good start for the Gillette boys right here, getting 2 outs and 3 pitches.
And here's Adam Jones. One of the hottest hitters in this Northwest Regional. 3 for 4 yesterday, 2 for 3, drove in 3 runs against Alaska in their big victory. 12-0.
Mason's being careful with him. Obviously, they've seen what Adam's been doing at the plate. And you've seen a first pitch curveball outside and then a fastball outside.
And that's line to left and over the head of left fielder Schilling and all the way to the fence. Jones rounding second. He's on his way to third. Here's the relay. And it's dropped and he's into third safely with a triple. Jones continues to tear it up.
It looked like he got a 2-0 fastball, middle of the plate down, and he just turns on it. Schilling took an initial step in because it was hit so hard. And you can see right here, Jones never even hesitated at second base and straight to third for a triple.
Now Caden Sheridan with a run-scoring opportunity.
Sheridan's been hot as well, 4 for 6.
One of the older players for Montana at 13. He really pitched well last night.
He did.
Lost to Oregon.
He really didn't deserve that loss. 6 2/3, 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, I love his demeanor as well. You know, he just having fun, calm, cool, and collected.
Well, nice pitch by Mason Newland right there. A little off-speed breaking ball. Sheridan was out front.
Grounder to short. Hecker knocks it down. Can't make a throw, and that will score the run. Jones comes in from third. 1-0 Montana.
Well, my initial thought on Jones, you can see right here, Sheridan hitting a hard ground ball to shortstop, was that Jones was, it was going to be a close play at third base, and the cardinal rule is you don't make the first or third out at third base. And look what happened. You get an infield single right there. Hecker did a great job of keeping the ball in the infield. He just couldn't come up quick enough to make a throw to get Sheridan.
And we've seen it. If you hit a ground ball deep in that infield, you're probably going to get that run to score. And there's a base hit to left field for Nick Bean. Sheridan will hold up at second. And 3 consecutive hits now for Montana.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of time to come up and bobble the ball. You got to come up quick and clean and make a good throw to get these guys out. They're running so well.
Now Evan Hafliger, the right fielder, looking for his first hit with a couple runners aboard. Big cut.
Nice pitch by Mason right there. Fastball down and away. Mason can stop all the damage right here. If he can get an out, get him back in the dugout.
Having a big Mike Trout fan.
Mike Trout with 1,000 hits last night. Got to 1,000, excuse me.
Well, you can't say enough good things about him as a ball player, huh?
I would not want to face him.
2-1 now. How about this Mason Newland delivery working from the stretch?
Well, he just, he's got nice mechanics, good slow rhythm, making good pitches. Right now he's just throwing a couple fastballs that have been up in the zone to the last 2 hitters. And with 2 outs, he challenged Adam Jones with a 2-0 fastball and gave up a triple. But he's been throwing strikes and throwing well, mixing up his pitches.
Bounces that one up there, runner breaking for third. The throw not in time. And Sheridan puts it now with runners on the corners.
Beam didn't follow him. It's a tough read right there. You don't want to take your eye off the ball or the catcher, but as the trail runner in that situation, when you have runners on first and second, you have to peek out of the corner of your eye and see if you can see the lead runner take off, because most times the catcher's reaction is going to be to the lead runner, and you can usually trail a little bit slower behind and get the free base.
3-2, strike 3 call, took something off of it, and he cuts the corner with that one for strike 3. Run across, a Jones triple, and he scores on a Sheridan infield single.
There's a breaking ball right there, froze him. Nice pitch by Mason Newland.
Top of the second, Montana has a 1-0 lead over Wyoming in this Northwest Regional elimination game. Wyoming 0-1, Montana 1-1. One of these teams' seasons will come to an end here. As we look at the Northwest Regional standings, double elimination, Washington and Oregon in the catbird seat right now. And that's the tough part about it is one of these teams will continue on here in San Bernardino, but that second loss and
season's over with.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, it's a quick, tough ending.
And we've seen some good baseball. You know, Idaho, 5 home runs in their loss, so we're going to see them later today. They're a team that is fun to watch, but they're playing Alaska in our nightcap in the Northwest region tonight. Jamin Collada to lead it off against Adam Jones. Collada was the only player to reach in their game against Washington, drawing a walk. They really were stymied by the Walla Walla Valley staff.
Favorite player, Nolan Arenado. Favorite athlete, excuse me.
Yeah, they've made that clear. Sometimes you list a favorite athlete, but then there's a favorite baseball player.
Baseball players are athletes too.
Some of them are. Most of them. Here's the 1-1. Took something off that one, pulled the string, 1-2.
Adam Jones with a nice breaking ball right there. Change of pace. And you could see Collada was way out in front of it.
Fastball and kind of a half swing, and he fooled him. High in the zone, 1 down.
See the slow breaking ball, the pitch before that, and then a fastball that's just too hard to lay off of. He sees it coming in right at his eye level. It looks like a good pitch to hit, and it's just past him.
A riser there. Here's Caleb Stashel, the third baseman. How often do you want to go to that pitch to try to entice somebody to chase it?
Well, when you're heading the count, you know, you just threw him a nice breaking ball down. He's off balance a little bit, and then, you know, the safest place to go if you're looking at the situation would be a fastball up out of the zone, because it's hard to get on top of and square up, and it's also one of those where if he's looking for a fastball and he's sitting all over it, then you're just throwing a ball out of the zone.
You better make sure it's high enough, though.
You better make sure it's high enough. Yeah, because if you throw that pitch at the belt and you're throwing the wrong pitch in that situation, you're in trouble.
3 strikeouts now for Jones. Here's the 0-2 to Stashel. Swings and misses, and McCarthy throws down to first base. That's 4 Ks and 3 in a row now.
Well, that one you saw the 0-2 pitch, and he threw the breaking ball in the dirt. So right now he is just changing eye levels, changing speed. Really got the Gillette boys on their heels. They don't know what speed's coming. They don't know what level of height is coming.
Jones keeping that arm warm as he'll face Jake Young, the catcher. Really good all-around athlete, trying to get on board here with 2 down. Chases one high in the zone.
Well, the way he's been pitching so far, this will probably be a soft breaking ball.
Young, a big Rockies fan. 0-2 now.
Good fastball away.
I know we're in the early morning hours here, it's breakfast time, but he's a big fan of brisket. 1-2.
Why you got to bring up food again?
Some great selections by these kids. Little elk, little bison, little brisket, ribs,
waffles. We got 2 hours till lunch, and you just throw the brisket at me right now.
Swing and a miss as Young is retired, and what a start for Adam Jones. He strikes out the side. He has K'd 4 in a row. Feeling it.
Here's Adam Jones, curveball in the dirt. Hard to lay off of. He's mixing it up very nicely right now.
Montana, a 1-0 lead over Wyoming. Northwest Region play here, bottom of the second in San Bernardino. The Little League Grow the Game Grant Initiative has distributed over $2 million at the local level. Grant funding provides local Little Leagues resources for general improvement and to expand or establish softball, challenger division, and urban initiative programs. For more info, visit littleleague.org/grow the game. Elimination game here. Northwest Region play. Wyoming and Montana trying to keep their seasons going as Montana has an RBI single from Caden Sheridan, the difference thus far, and this is Bryce Lapham, the left fielder.
Breaking ball is just a little bit up. Good first pitch fastball by Mason Newland to start off the count.
He works from the stretch with nobody on. You like that. That's something you did.
Well, the windup is, in essence, a one step and a pivot into the stretch. And you can be more efficient in the stretch. You see all the relievers in the major leagues are just working out of the stretch predominantly. See if that one comes back. Nice grab by Stashel before that one came back and caught a piece of the base. Looks like the lines are sloped a little bit to bring the ball back in. Encourage bunting. Get the ball in the dirt on the chalk on the third base line. The ball's going to stay fair.
A little small ball could be a factor. 2-2 to Lapham, swings late and fouls it.
Nice piece of hitting right there. A little slider down and away. Did a great job of just trying to get a bat on it and stay alive.
Aaron Bay over there, first base coach's box, almost came up with it. He had a nice snag last night in foul territory. Here's the 2-2. Full count now.
I think they gave Coach Bay an error on that one right there.
He was a little bit upset he didn't come up with that. Tried to barehand it.
Yeah.
(3-2) liner and a base hit to right center field for Lapham. Good swing there. He's on.
Lapham's second hit of the tournament. Hard hit line drive into right center.
That brings up Carson Bay, the second baseman. 14-11 strikes and balls for Newland thus far. This is a young guy, Bay, they're really excited about. He's only 11, but they think he can be their ace next year as a pitcher.
Probably the best nickname in the tournament.
You like Sub-Zero, huh?
I like Sub-Zero.
And he's got the number to go with it, the 00 out there.
What's your favorite major leaguer that's a 00?
I'd have to think about that. Here's the 0-2.
I can't think of one.
I'm thinking football right now. Jim Otto, the great Raider center, but I can't come up with baseball right now.
Nice job by Mason Newland. Mason Newland right there with an 0-2 fastball up out of the zone. Got Carson Bay to chase. You saw the drop third strike, which the runner is not allowed to try to get to first base because the base is occupied with less than 2 outs.
Now Joey Leary after that second strikeout of the game for Newland.
Leary scored a run on Sunday.
Fastball, liner, right field, but played well by Lubin. Throwback to first, not in time, but he was right on it near the line for out number 2.
Now Joey squared that ball up right here. He got a first pitch, a 1-0 fastball, drove it out to right field, and Lubin just hit it right to Lubin. Nice play right there, and he comes up and recognizes that Lapham had come off the base a little bit too far and slipped when he recognized that Lubin had made the catch. Just didn't get the throw accurately enough.
Montana making good contact, though. Here's Colin McCarthy. He swings at the first pitch. Gloved by Newland on a great play to the bag unassisted to end the inning.
Nice play by Mason Newland right there. Just took the ball and carried it over there himself. Good first pitch fastball. And Wyoming has a chance to get back in the game right here.
Montana in front of Wyoming 1-0, top of the third elimination game in the Northwest region. This is day 3 in San Bernardino. All roads pointing to Williamsport, Pennsylvania and the Little League World Series. How about the timeline? Notable dates. How about a 1-hour baseball game in 1950?
1 hour game.
Awesome.
Unbelievable.
And, you know, I know the Lloyd McClendon thing, I just can't keep my eyes off of that. Look at that.
I think that's a good day. You think he remembers that if you walked up and asked, "Hey, Coach McClendon, what'd you do in the Little League World Series?"
The final.
Yeah, and right away it would be like, 5 for 5 with five home runs. You kidding?
I was too young to remember that, but that's one that's got to go down as one of the great efforts in Little League World Series history. I don't know how you top that.
You can't top it. 6 for 6 with 6 home runs.
Well, some defensive changes now. Elliott's now pitching. After 2 frames from Jones. And Joey Leary's playing shortstop. You got Neibauer now at third. Wholesale changes for this Mount Sentinel team as Jones looked really good in his 2 innings. It'll be Aiden Dorr to lead it off for Wyoming.
Well, it looks like Montana is of the impression that they want to bring Adam Jones back possibly tomorrow, and they kept him at his 20-pitch limit. I'm sure Coach Jones has a plan for his outing today and is going to get some guys some work, trying to keep him under the 20-pitch, possibly, or maybe he extends one guy and just had Jones get it started for him.
1-2 to Aiden Dorr. Mike Dorr, the coach, his son, he was 0 for 1 against Washington. Swings and misses, and a strikeout for Elliott, his first batter faced here in the 3rd inning.
Wow, that was a really nice curveball right there. There you see it again, 12-6 on the clock. That would be a traditional overhand 12-6 curveball.
First pitch, Hecker grounds it to short, and Leary with a good throw. 2 down.
Well, Hecker put the only ball in play on Sunday for Gillette, and here he is jumping on a first pitch fastball. Got a little bit off the end of the bat.
The batter, number 27, Mason Newland.
Nice play by the shortstop.
Now Mason Newland, top of the order. Dwayne Johnson, his favorite actor, a.k.a. The Rock, who was a great athlete, football player.
A professional football player, wasn't he, for a short time?
Ground ball hit to Leary again, and this time he has trouble with it. A hard hit ball, and it rolls into left field, and Newland's on.
Well, Newland got a 2-0 fastball here right around the belt and knew what to do with it. Let's see it again. He hits a hard smash at Leary, just got in between hops. They gave it a hit.
Yep, Newland's going to get credit with a single, and here's Corey Schilling.
I don't know. I would assume that Leary would get that more times than not, and that's kind of the way you look at a hit versus an error. But it was well hit. Got him in between hops.
Schilling singled to right field his first time up. One and two. How about having a left-handed catcher there, McCarthy?
You don't see that very often. Let's see if Wyoming gets a chance when they get on second base to take advantage of that.
Off speed, a beauty. What a pitch by Elliott to set down Schilling and end the inning.
Nice job by Elliott right there to come in. Cooper Elliott. Here comes the 0-2 break, the 1-2 breaking ball down and away. Montana up 1-0.
Yeah. Bottom of the third, Montana has 1 run. They're hoping that's enough, leading Montana here in an elimination game. Beginning in January 2018, Little League will join other youth baseball organizations in adopting USA Baseball's new USA Bat Standard. For more information on how this new youth standard will impact Little League, visit littleleague.org/bat info. Beautiful day here in San Bernardino, the first of 4 today, first of 2 in Northwest Region play. Also the West Region action coming up later. The champions will be crowned on Saturday. Cooper Elliott's going to lead it off against Mason Newland.
Mason's running up against the middle of the lineup right now, 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4 have been very hot so far this tournament, so this is a very important out for him to try to get Cooper out right here.
Little flare, and it's caught by Dorr as he covered a lot of ground and gloves it on the outfield grass.
What a great play right there. Aiden Dorr. You can see the end of the catch here stretching out. He's on a full run. That was perfectly executed right there by the young man. Well done.
It's an 11-year-old second baseman with a good play. Here's Adam Jones, who tripled first time up. All right, if you're a pitcher here, you know he's red hot in this regional. It has to be on the mind of Newland right now.
Well, we're talking Little League baseball. I'm trying to really mix up my pitches and throw breaking balls. And first pitch, you saw first pitch breaking ball. I'm trying change ups. I'm trying to throw fastballs up, and I'm trying to get him to get himself out.
And there it is.
Nice job of mixing things up. Curveballs. You saw a fastball down and away. Just really changed speeds on the breaking ball. Here it is again, the 0-2 curveball. Adam Jones is just out front of it a little bit. Looks like Mason Newland changed speeds a little bit on the first breaking ball.
Bottom drops out there. And Jones retired for just the 3rd time in this regional. And here's Caden Sheridan.
So I was going to say, back in the 70s and 80s, if a guy's really hot during a series, you just hit him in the middle of the back and get him to go down to first base anyway.
Old
see
school.
If it changes the mindset. I hope we're not going to see that here in Little League baseball.
No, but there are a lot of ways to approach it, but it looks like Newland approached Jones exactly the way you'd want to.
Yeah, he threw him a first pitch breaking ball, unlike the last at bat in the first inning where Jones hit a triple. Newland started him off with a breaking ball that missed with the fastball, 2-0 count.
And now he gets Sheridan on strikes. So Mason Newland, the 12-year-old, looking very good.
Got him on the check swing on a breaking ball down and out of the zone. Here it is again, Mason Newland with the breaking ball working in the 3rd inning.
Al Houghton Stadium, the site for this Northwest Regional game. One of these teams' season will come to an end. Montana leading Wyoming 1-0 in the top half of the 4th. Good pitching so far from Adam Jones and Mason Newland. Well, when you talk about Little League World Series appearances, the Northwest region has fared very well, and specifically Washington. Though Oregon, who we saw win last night, they were there in 2016.
Well, they had a great game last night, 3-2 extra innings. Looked like they'd been there before. Washington with 11 appearances. You can see Idaho. Got a chance to watch them yesterday with their 5 home runs. They were fun to watch.
And Montana does have an appearance back in 2011. And this is a pretty good offensive team that we have seen here. They put 12 runs on the board against Alaska, almost knocked off Oregon. And it's going to be an uphill battle facing an elimination game here, but a pretty good club from Missoula. They have fared well.
Well, they've hit the ball well. Last night I think they left 12 runners on base.
Yep.
Today so far they got 4 hits in 3 innings, and they've stranded 3 of them.
Cooper Elliott in relief of Adam Jones facing Josh Lubin. Strike 1.
Good first pitch breaking ball right there. Lubin was just out front of it. He bunted the first time, and you can see that this San Bernardino field is unique with the dirt runway going from the pitcher's mound to the catcher. Very unique field, old-time look. And Lubin bunted. He went straight down the runway.
You see that Josh, both his parents are teachers, and he is a big outdoor guy. Likes to get in the mountains, hike, hunt, and fish. And I'm sure there's some great territory there near Gillette, Wyoming.
Well, Lubin gets the 2 strikes right here, and you can see him choking up about an inch on the bat. Very smart hitter.
2-2 now.
You can see Colin McCarthy standing up. He wanted a fastball way up out of the zone. Cooper Elliott wasn't able to execute the pitch.
There's a liner, and it's gloved by Neibauer. No, he couldn't hang on. It rolls into left field. Looked like he had it momentarily, but Lubin is on.
Looked like here's Neibauer hanging curveball. Lubin does his best to get a piece of it. And you can see Neibauer has to reins to his left and just misjudged the ball a little bit on the speed. It looked like it was harder hit than it was.
And that's going to go as a single for Lubin. Here's Nathan Zimmerscheid. Curveball, strike 1.
Zimmerscheid is seeing a plethora of breaking balls so far today. He's going to have to sit back and look for it. He's got a really nice swing. He's going to have to change his approach a little bit. He's not getting anything good to hit so far.
0 for 3 in this regional. Zimmerscheid. Big Rockies fan. 2-1. Yep. Matisic is now catching. Matisic replacing McCarthy behind the dish. He's been their everyday catcher. So he's the battery now with Elliott. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one off the plate.
Another breaking ball right there. Nice job by Matisic to stay in front of it.
Best thing about playing Little League, Zimmerscheid, he says, it's hitting bombs.
Well, now would be a good time for one.
Oh, we got him. Fooled him. Took something off that one. And a strikeout for Elliott. 1 down.
Here you see Cooper Elliott. Got a 2-strike pitch. Good curveball. Starts up and in on Zimmerscheid and just freezes him. Great pitch.
3 strikeouts now for Elliott.
I think we might be seeing Cody Klein coming to the plate.
Your attention, please, for Wyoming. Entering the game for Columbus.
Pinch hitting opportunity.
Now batting.
Work the zone. Wait for pitches.
Klein, a 12-year-old, and this is where we see most of the pinch hitting chances in the 3rd and 4th. You've got to get everybody involved. And the D. Wade fan, Cody Klein, with a runner on with a chance here.
Looks like Cody was 0 for 0 in the first game.
Tries to bunt here with Neibauer coming in from 3rd, and he fouls it off.
Well, they have done that. They did that in the first inning. They got a runner on first base with less than 2 outs, and you saw Lubin, the 3-hole hitter in the first inning, sacrifice bunt the runner to second base. And now you're looking at Cody Klein, tried it the first pitch, see if he does it again.
And he offers on that one and misses. Now it's 0-2. What are your thoughts bunting with 2 strikes? It's a gamble. It can be done, but the fact he's been unsuccessful a couple times, probably not going with that here.
Yeah, you know what? This is where the coach knows the better than I do about what the player is capable of doing. And if Cody Klein's a good bunter and he just didn't execute on those 2 pitches, he tries again.
And he takes strike 3 here, not looking to bunt. And that's strikeout number 4 for Cooper Elliott.
There you can see Matisic was trying to look for a high fastball, try to get him to chase something out of the zone. And Cooper Elliott just threw a pitch right at the belt.
Now Caleb Stashel.
Right now Cooper Elliott and Matisic are in a nice rhythm. Couple first pitch breaking balls in this inning.
Here's that over the top pitch that misses a little bit high.
Home plate umpire Michael Michael Poore has done a nice job of calling this breaking ball. It's a difficult pitch to call for balls and strikes.
Leary shuttles it to the second baseman covering for the force play to end the inning. Still a 1-0 game. Excellent pitching, good fielding. We're through 3.5 here in San Bernardino. Sunny skies in San Bernardino. Little League Baseball continues. Northwest Regional elimination game. Montana in front of Wyoming 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Caden Sheridan has the RBI in this one. Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit LLBWS.org or follow along on social media. Hashtag LLWS. Coast to coast, region to region. And the winners from the regions will head to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the 71st Little League World Series. It's the 47th year they've had it, this regional here in San Bernardino.
Oh, it's such a great venue. You got the tents out in the outfield. You got the barracks out in right field.
Concession stand down the line there.
There you go, bringing up food again.
Here's a look at our camera setup. Guy's doing a great job out there in center field. Here behind the plate, got all the angles covered on the field.
Doing a great job, giving us all the views on the plays.
Nick Beam leading things off, and he laces one into left field for a base hit. Beam is 2 for 2.
It looked like he got a breaking ball up in the zone. Was able to stay back enough to drive it into left field. Nice piece of hitting.
He's a disciplined hitter, has been an everyday center fielder for Mount Sentinel, and gets him off to a good start here.
Second single to left field today. Mason Newland has done a nice job of scattering 5 hits through 3 innings, with giving up only 1 run. See if he can get out of this jam.
And here's Alex Nybauer hitting in Hafliger's spot in the order, the 6th spot. Nybauer's big moment, a highlight reel catch in right field in their last game against Oregon.
That was an amazing catch.
It was a Sports Center top 10 nominee.
Did it win?
We're going to have to track the results. Here's the 1-1. There's a bouncer to third. Stashel flips to second. They get the force play. They cut down Beam for out number 1.
Nice play right there by Stashel. Stayed back, recognized where the lead out was. Made a good sharp throw. Newland getting a good ground ball. Just wasn't enough time to get Nybauer at first base.
It's tough to turn 2.
It's
really
tough
is.
to turn to 2 in this. Yes, really is. These guys, the bases are so short, and these guys are so fast. You almost have to have a tailor-made ground ball to the shortstop that he can carry across the base himself. He's involved with flip to the second baseman. It's just too much time.
This is Sam Matisich batting in Lapham's spot. He's now in as the catcher for Montana. Grounder back to the mound. Nice play by Newland, staying with it. And he throws out Matisich.
Great play by Mason Newland right here. Gets a comebacker. Sometimes when you're on the mound, it's a little bit deceiving, and you can see that his initial reaction is he thought the ball was hit harder, so he reached for it. It wasn't quite there. Stayed back, knocked it down, and was smart enough just to come straight up to first base, not even looking to second base.
Well, here's Mason Anderson, pinch hitting for Carson Bay. Playing second base now. Here's the 0-1. Pulls it foul. That went ahead. That had a double written all over it, and it easily would have scored Nybauer.
Just a little bit out front of that pitch right there. Little 0-1 changeup, middle of the plate down. Mason wasn't able just to stay back long enough to keep it in play. Favorite athlete, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, you know, Mason's a second baseman, but he likes the shortstop.
He doesn't like Desmond Pedroia?
He's a Yankees fan.
Oh.
Can't do that. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing, and that'll end the inning. So Mount Sentinel threatens, but they leave a runner at second, and the pitcher's duel continues through 4 innings.
Here's Mason Newland right here, 2-strike breaking ball, dives out of the zone. Nice pitch.
Montana trying to move to 2-1 in Northwest Region play. Wyoming looking for their first victory. The winner will continue on here at San Bernardino, and the loser season comes to an end. Only 8 hits in the game. Excellent pitching from the starters Newland and Jones, and Elliott in relief of Jones. Cooper continues on here, and he'll be facing the bottom part of the Wyoming order. 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Well, Jake Young struck out on a curveball in the second, and Cooper Elliott continues the barrage of breaking balls. Good curveball right there.
You know, the breaking ball was a good friend to you in your career.
Yeah, I threw a lot of them. I threw one similar to Cooper Elliott, 12-6 on the clock face. He's got a good one. Nice job of mixing pitches right there. First pitch curveball. Looked like a changeup down and away. Get to 0-2, and then they try a high fastball.
Young fights it off.
Come back with a breaking ball right there. The pitch sequence and the right now to Jake Young is quite diverse.
You like his pace out there?
Montana's pace for their pitchers. These guys just get back on the mound and throw the next pitch.
Fly ball, that's hit well to left field, and it's tracked down by Lapham near the fence as Young gave it a ride. That's actually Jones out there, and there's one down.
Nice piece of hitting by Jake Young right there. He got another breaking ball. It was up in the zone a little bit. He drove it and just missed it. Ball's back on the warning track.
Adam Jones had just enough room.
Aiden Dorr with the first pitch fastball.
Bowen Rodriguez fouls it off.
I'm sorry.
He comes in to hit and Dorr spot in the order. His first AB.
1-1 count. Just saw both fastball and a breaking ball. B-Rod.
We've seen an A-Rod.
A B-Rod.
And a B-Rod. Cesar Rodriguez last night for Oregon. C-Rod.
You need a K-Rod.
That's right.
It should cover it.
2-2 now.
Nice job of fouling off a good fastball up and away.
Hey, there's a souvenir. That's about as easy as it gets right there. The ball's just waiting for him. There's strike 3. Rodriguez caught looking, and that's the 5th K for Elliott. 2 down.
There's another breaking ball by Cooper Elliott, 12-6 on the clock. We're going to have another pinch hitter.
You want to play Little League or volunteer in your local community? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. So this is an opportunity for Wyoming to get some pinch hitters in here in the 5th. We've already seen Rodriguez. And it's going to be Tyler Peterson with an opportunity now in the 9-hole.
Little League Baseball has a great rule that everybody must play, and varying circumstances with the size of the roster. So if the roster is 12 players or less, the reserve players must get 6 outs on the defensive side of the field and then get 1 at bat. If the roster is 13 or 14 players, then the reserves only need to get 1 at bat. So you're seeing the coach right now getting the reserves in to get some swings.
First pitch swinging, Peterson knocked down by Elliott, and he throws him out. Great job defensively by Cooper Elliott, a 1-2-3 inning. Flashing some leather, and it's still a 1-0 game. Bottom 5, Montana with just 1 run. They lead Wyoming 1-0 thanks to an RBI from Caden Sheridan in the first inning. Little League University provides free educational information online for coaches, umpires, league volunteers, and parents. Watch videos, review practice plans, or get some ideas for playing catch in the backyard. Visit littleleagueuniversity.org today. Great setting here. Al Houghton Stadium in San Bernardino, and an elimination game here. Joey Leary is going to lead things off for Montana, trying to add to their advantage against Mason Newland. Ball 1 outside.
Mason's done a great job so far. He's scattered 5 hits through 4 innings, left 4 runners on base, and gave up the 1 infield single with a runner on third base in the first inning for the only run scored. He's at 50 pitches right now. Nice off-speed breaking ball right there behind in the count 1-0. Got him back in.
5 strikeouts for Newland. Bounces that one up there. Manny Machado.
He's one of my favorite players.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, he's an Oriole too.
That's exactly why. You probably also liked Jim Palmer, Eddie Murray, Ripken. Of course, you played with those guys.
Played with Murray and Ripken. Palmer actually came back out to spring training one year, 5 years after he's retired.
Boog Powell fan?
Big Boog Powell fan. Talking about brisket out in right field. He's got right. Boog's Barbecue out in right field of Camden Yards.
3-2, liner knocked down by the first baseman to the bag, not in time. Leary beats it out. That was Collada trying to stay with it on that frozen rope.
Well, you get a 3-2 fastball up in the zone. You see this hard shot right there. Collada does a great job keeping his body in front of it. Just can't pick it up and find the base quick enough. Wow.
Close play. They have ruled it a hit.
Collada did everything he could do right there. That ball was a missile. Here you go. He struggles to find the bags, kind of stutter steps. And just didn't get the foot down in time.
Leary with tremendous speed.
It looks like we're reviewing this. This is a big play right here. Nobody out.
What can be reviewed in Little League Baseball? Now this is one of those plays. Force out. Tag on the base pass. Miss bases. Hit batters. And they have confirmed that Leary is safe at first base.
Well, these coaches have gone through, you go through the season, you go through districts, you go through state. Here it is again. Just not in time. But you go through districts and state and through your Little League season, and you have no review capabilities. You know, we're lucky enough right now, ESPN has cameras all over the field. We're able to see these plays. And I think sometimes we've had some plays where they should have been reviewed, but the coaches just aren't used to the system and having the ability to review something. And we've had a couple plays so far this tournament that should have been reviewed and probably overturned, but the coach not being used to the system, he doesn't call for a review. So,
well, they've done a pretty good. These volunteers done a great job out there. There's a ground ball hit to short. Hecker knocks it down, but can't make a play. Keeps it on the infield, and now runners at first and second. Back-to-back singles by Leary and Colin McCarthy.
And Mason Newell is making his pitches and keeping the ball in the infield. They're just hitting some balls that are finding some spots that are the Gillette boys just can't make the play.
7 hits now, and a meeting on the mound with Newland.
We're okay. Okay, hey, just get the feet moving, get over in front of the ball. Okay, we got to play at any base. All right, we just need to make a couple outs here and shut it down. All right, we're only 1 run down. It's no big deal right now. Throwing it good. You're throwing really well. Okay, look at me. Just keep doing it. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Make a play. Want this ball.
Yeah.
That was Coach Mike Dorr right there coming out. Very positive. You know, let the kids know that they're still in this, only down 1-0. Nothing hurt. They've gotten out of these jams all day.
Cooper Elliott pops it up. Newland calling for it, and he makes the play on the infield grass. That's out number 1, big out.
Infield fly rule called by the umpire Dave Miller at first base. Infield fly rule lets the runners know that they do not have to advance if the ball drops. The hitter is out, and the runners would advance at their own risk.
Now Adam Jones, runners breaking and safe into second and third base. Leary and McCarthy with 1 out.
Leary does a great job here. He sees the ball in the dirt. Jake Young blocks it as well as he can. It comes off him a little bit, and Leary is breaking on the ball in the dirt, and just too quick for Jake Young to make the throw.
Well, this is a golden opportunity now. You've got the hottest hitter arguably in the Northwest region at the plate in Jones. Already has a triple. Couple runners on. And he drives it to center, and that is going to go to the fence on a hop. That's going to score Leary. It's going to score McCarthy. Jones in with a 2-run double. 3-0 Montana.
You can see Jones been the hottest hitter so far. Gets a fastball down in the zone. A little bit in and just drives it to left center. I don't think he's swung and missed too often this tournament. That's a tough situation right there. For Wyoming, you got runners on second and third, 1 out. The new Little League rule of the intentional walk. These kids aren't used to throwing 4 intentional pitches outside the zone.
Good job. Good work. All right, let's stick Goose in and see what happens, huh? Hey, we got to make a play, all right? You got to do everything you can. Keep ball in the infield. Got me? Okay, go get it. Knock it down. All right, a lot of strikes. Stay down in the zone. Get us a ground ball here, okay?
So Mason Newland will now head to center field. And it will be Nathan Zimmerscheid on the mound. Second pitcher for Wyoming.
Well, Newland did a nice job. He scattered 7 or 8 hits until Adam Jones came up and got a fastball to hit.
Goes 4 1/3 innings and throws 61 pitches, and now Zimmerscheid in a tough spot with 1 out. Jones is now 2 for 3 with a double and a triple. He's driven in a couple.
I like that. They called Zimmerscheid Goose. There's got to be something in there. Pull it open.
Sprinklers here. They do a great job on the grounds, keeping the field in tip-top shape.
This field is immaculate right now. I think I could putt on that infield.
I think they had a change here. They got Hecker's now going to be in center. And they're going to put Newland at shortstop with Zimmerscheid on the mound.
Well, let's see if he can channel Goose, as in Goose Gossage, get out of this situation. Keep it at 3-0. Caden Sheridan's been hot as well in this tournament.
Wow, you just threw out a rich Goose Gossage.
Oh, he was my favorite player growing up.
Fantastic. Sheridan a chance to add to the lead. Here's the first offering. Swung on, hit well to center. Hecker backs up. It's out of here. Sheridan with a 2-run home run. And it's 5-0.
Nancy Caden Sheridan. These Montana boys had a hard loss in the state title. The state best 2 out of 3 had a hard loss in the first game. Went and saw the return of the Planet of the Apes and have a little thing going with the fist bump over their heads after they do something great.
And the 3 and 4 hitters from Mount Sentinel have been fantastic in this regional. Adam Jones and Caden Sheridan.
Only in Little League Baseball right there where the catcher give him a high five. That's great sportsmanship.
Nick Beam rolls it to third. Stashel across in time to get out number 2. So Sheridan now with 6 hits in this regional after that 2-run homer.
Montana leaving 12 runners on base last night in that 3-2 loss. They come out today. They stranded some runners, and they found a way in the 5th here to put together some hits and get some runs on the board.
Looking for the ball out there in center field, that home run ball. That's a souvenir if you can get it.
Well, hopefully they're
Still
looking
on the search.
Hopefully they're looking for Caden Sheridan.
Oh, Alex,
first home run of the regional.
Yeah, that was impressive. Neibauer, meanwhile, was thinking about a double down the right field line, just foul.
Nice piece of hitting right there. You can see Lubin out in right field, fairly deep, protecting against the extra base hit.
I think a Mount Sentinel fan has found that baseball launched by Sheridan. You want a Montana person to get that baseball, right? That's Sheridan's home run.
Well, if I'm from Wyoming, no. I'm going out to find it and keep away. Just kidding. That's that mean side of me.
2-2 now.
Nice pitch by Goose.
Trying to get out of this inning.
See if he's got the Gossage slider right here. There it is.
Good job by Neibauer to just hang in there and get a piece of it.
Good pitch by Zimmerside right there. 2-2 slider, breaking off the plate, and Neibauer just spoiled a good pitch. Yeah, don't you really love, Jake Young giving him a high five as he's rounding third base.
It's awesome.
That's great.
Looking ahead to the 6th inning, it'll be the top of the order for Wyoming. Maybe their last chance. Their season on the line here in this elimination game. Zimmerscheid to Neibauer. Full count.
You can see Jake Young sitting back there. He wanted a high fastball. Tried to get him to chase.
Iron Maiden.
Wow.
Oh, man. He's a rocker. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off.
Iron Maiden.
It's taking you back, huh?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite bands in high school right there, to be brutally honest.
It's good to know these kids know their rock history, huh?
Oh, man, that's great. Neibauer just spoiled another good pitch.
(3-2), and good at-bat for Neibauer. He earns the walk.
Spoiled some good pitches by Zimmerscheid. Zimmerscheid was pumping the zone, just missed down and in right there.
Montana has out-hit Wyoming 9-3 in this one. Big 4-run 5th inning to break this one open.
Looks like Lapham's coming back up to the plate.
Yeah, Bryce Lapham back in to hit. Everybody that has needed to play has played for Montana. And they have the 5-0 lead here.
Well, last night, starting the game, we got a lineup with number 10, Connor Dick, leading off the game. And he had an unfortunate injury in the pregame warm-ups where apparently he dove head first trying to catch a fly ball during the warm-ups, and tore a nail off of his finger and had to go get x-rays, make sure it wasn't broken. Apparently it was completely swollen up, and we're finding out that he might be done for the tournament. This is a tough break. Spend your summer working hard to get here.
Well, we wish you the best, Connor. It is tough. He's hoping his team can continue on here, and they're looking like they've got a great chance to do it. Here's the pitch to Lapham, and he falls behind 0-2.
Eighth hitter of the inning right now. Favorite food is steak.
Didn't mention what kind. Porterhouse, New York sirloin, Kansas City strip. Here's the 0-2. Bouncer up the middle, and that's through and into center field. Lapham with a single. And heading to third on the throw is Neibauer. Runners on the corners.
Ground ball up the middle. Neibauer advancing to third base from first. Nice job of base running. Very aggressive by the Montana boys right there. Taking a little bit of a chance. Ball right in front of him. Kept running. Had runners on first and third.
Mason Anderson now. And that hit him. So the bases are loaded as Zimmerscheid's struggling a little bit now.
Well, nothing hurt right there. You have an open base technically with the second base open. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Ball just got away. You saw his reaction after the pitch. It was frustration more than anything else.
So now the third baseman, or now shortstop Joey Leary, with an opportunity with the bases full and 2 down. 10 hits now for Montana.
Fastball a little bit high. Zimmerscheid's struggling a little bit with his command right now. Just need to finish that pitch. Threw it hard.
And a wild pitch back to the backstop, and another run will score. Coming in, Neibauer, and it's 6-0.
You can see Zimmerscheid throws a fastball wide. Jake Young just doesn't have much of a chance to get it. It's a hard play to get the fastball in the dirt. Zimmerscheid fakes a tag. Gets Neibauer to slide, which I'm not a big fan of. Taking a chance on getting somebody hurt on a slide that they don't need to do, but it's tough to channel your competitiveness into the right places. Yep. Sometimes you do things that aren't always appropriate.
Infield is in now. 3-0 count to Leary, and he draws the walk, and the base is loaded once more.
Well, Goose is out there struggling a little bit. It'd be probably a good time to walk out and have a mound talk. And as I say that, here comes Coach Dorr. Let's listen in.
Heads up, heads up. Ball game's not over, okay? We got to lock in here. We got to get some strikes, all right? Go throw it hard. Get in here. Go to second, Nate. All right? Hey, throw like we can throw. Okay, don't hold back. There's nothing left, right? Finish up here. Let's go. Here we go.
Coach Dorr, Zimmerscheid's going to move to second base, and we'll have a new pitcher now for the Gillette Little Leaguers.
Looks like Caleb Stachel.
Stachel, who started the game at third base. And he inherits a situation with the bases full and 2 down in this 6-0 game.
Stachel threw on the first day, got an inning pitched, 1 strikeout, gave up 4 earned runs. He's one of their aces.
And what a year it's been for Gillette. Beat Laramie to win the Wyoming State Championship. As we take a close look now at this Northwest region, Walla Walla Valley Little Leaguers have been very impressive. That Oregon team, hard-fought 3-2 7-inning win last night over Montana.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a fun game to watch.
And Montana trying to march on here and get their second win. They knocked off Alaska in run rule fashion. And they're hoping to continue on a comfortable 6-0 lead right now. This is a double elimination format, and one of these teams' season will come to an end here. And Montana trying to add a little insurance here. It'll be the top of the order, Colin McCarthy at the plate.
He's 1 for 3 today so far. It was 1 for 3 yesterday. Very competitive at bats. He is one of those guys that you don't want to see come up with the bases loaded because he's going to spoil some good pitches that you make. He's going to be very disciplined at the plate.
The mighty firecracker, according to his dad, the coach Will McCarthy.
Nice pitch by Stashel right there. Fastball down and away. That's one of your favorite shows, isn't it, SpongeBob?
Back in the day, there's a roller to third, to the bag, unassisted to get the out. The third baseman coming in to score. They will not give the run to Lapham. It's a 6-0 game as we finish 5 here in San Bernardino.
Here you see the Sheridan home run. Nice 5-run inning right there. Score 6-0 Montana.
It's been the Adam Jones show for Montana throughout this regional. 2 hits today.
Great breaking ball. You see him striking out. Fastball's up in the zone. Triple in the first inning. Fastball down and in. Double in the gap right there. He has truly been their best player, reminding me of Adam Jones of the Baltimore Orioles.
Has 7 hits in this regional for Jones, the left-handed pitcher and right-handed slugger. Look at those numbers.
That's not a bad week right there for anybody. 7 for 10, 2 triples, 5 RBIs, 4 runs. The pitching's not bad either. 3 2/3 and 7 strikeouts.
And Montana trying to close it out here as we move to the 6th inning. Mason Newland to lead it off. These Gillette kids have had a tremendous season, winning the state championship. Lost to Washington 13-0, trailing here 6-0 to Montana.
Well, I'd like to see them try to get something on the board here. Walk out here with a good experience in the last at bat. Mason Newland chasing a breaking ball in the dirt right there. So far he's seen 3 straight curveballs. You might expect Cooper Elliott to throw a high fastball right here.
There is the fastball, driven to right field. That's well hit, and it's off the fence for Newland. And he's on his way to second with a leadoff double.
Well, Cooper Elliott made the high fastball that I was looking for, and Mason Newland just drove the ball to right field. So much for my pitch calling days of Little League right there. I thought that was going to be the perfect pitch to get Mason Newland, but he stayed fastball the whole way and drove the ball.
He's 2 for 3. Here's Corey Schilling.
Nice block by Matisich right there. Schilling with a single in the first inning through the 4-3 hole.
Line drive, base hit left field. Newland going to wave him around. Here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe. That ball went through the pitcher, and taking third is Schilling. He was too close. Elliott, it appeared to the plate to make that throw.
And here you see Schilling driving the ball to left field. Adam Jones out there secures the play and throws a laser that's cut off by Cooper Elliott a little bit offline, and he just throws a missile about 5 feet away to Matisich, and Matisich had no chance to catch that. That would have been a bang-bang play at the plate.
Wyoming finally gets a run on the board in this regional, and here's Josh Lubin.
Look at Matisich back there. That's a great job of diving out there, getting your body squared towards the pitcher. You can see that his upper body was bent forward a little bit to smother the ball straight down in the dirt. Nice job.
Lubin swings and misses. He had a single his last time up, pulling the baseball to left. Likes to watch hockey.
In person? Hockey in person's a blast.
That's fouled off.
I don't have the attention span to watch it on TV.
Yeah, it's one of the sports I think better to be there.
Oh, it's great to watch in person. we got a 1-2 count right now. Lubin, we got umpire Michael Porras was not ready for the pitch. Stopped Cooper Elliott mid-pitch.
Now he's back in there. Here's a 1-2. It's inside. What was that, a backdoor breaking pitch there?
Well, it was kind of a hanging curveball. He didn't quite finish the pitch. You could see it started at Lubin, and he got out of the way of it.
Chases, strikes out, throw down to first. Here's the throw to the plate, and
wow,
out at home plate is the runner Schilling. The strikeout double play.
And Matisich does a great job. Lubin swings at the breaking ball in the dirt. There you see it from overhead. Lubin swings at the breaking ball in the dirt. Matisich comes straight up, fires a strike to Sheridan at first base. Sheridan quickly fires back to Matisich in a great position to make the tag right there. Tough break for Gillette.
And Montana is an out away from winning this one.
They can't replay. Hey, great job. You're at 50, so we got to keep you. All right? So let's make some changes. Let's bring in Beamer. Why are we bringing in this outfield guy? He ain't even part of the band. Hey, on that, you run that show on that cut, okay? Good job. Good job. It's okay. How you feeling, Nicky?
Good job, Cooper.
All right? You throw it?
Yeah.
Hey, we're playing with the band at the Rose Bowl this week, the infield. Don't mess this up for us, all right? We got a gig finally, all right? All right?
Wait, where's Cooper?
All right, let me send you around. Let me, Alex. A-bomb, center. Go to right. Joey, third.
Will McCarthy with some words as they go to Nick Beam now as their hurler, replacing Elliott, who is at 50 pitches. You want to save him for later on in the tournament.
Yeah, a certain amount of days rest that he will need to get with the Little League rules.
And this is under review, this strikeout double play, first to home after the K. They're taking a closer look, and here's what can be reviewed.
Well, the force out at first base with the drop third strike is technically a force out, so they can review that, and then you got the tags on the base paths, which is the play at the plate, so I think we got everything covered.
And that was kind of an unconventional double play, if it stands up, but good job by the infield there.
Well, Montana did a great job, a couple of snap throws. Matisich, smothers the breaking ball in the dirt, pops up, makes a great throw. Here it is again. Matisich in a great position to make the tag. I'd like to see him put the glove down a little bit more in front of home plate instead of reaching for the runner right there. You can see he made it a little bit closer than it needed to be, but the ball was definitely there in time. Nice job by Caden Sheridan to catch and a snap throw back to Matisich.
It's like Jones is now in the outfield with McCarthy. And Beam who's a normal center fielder now on the hill.
Caden Sheridan still having fun. He was fun to watch last night. Great pitched game. Lost 3-2, but he was out there for all 6 2/3. And he's just having a blast. He was doing that last night in that meeting with the game on the line in the bottom of the 7th, and he was just out there going, this is great.
And Neibauer out there in left field now. And Beam will try to close the door. Montana in out away. Nathan Zimmerscheid, who has struck out a couple times at the plate.
This is Nick Beam's first appearance on the mound.
This is Mason Drube hitting for Zimmerscheid. Pinch hitting opportunity with 2 down for Drube. Beam inside with that one, 2-1.
Well, these Montana guys have some great breaking balls. That one just missed inside a little bit, kind of backed up on him. You see a fastball in.
Swing and a miss. They're strike away. If Montana wins, they play tomorrow. Wyoming season is on the line. 4 p.m. tomorrow for the winner of this one. That game will be against either Alaska or Idaho. The winner of the 7 p.m. game tonight from San Bernardino, but they are 1 strike away from moving to 2-1 in this regional.
Yeah, right now Nick Beam's got the opportunity to close this one out. He's been throwing a lot of strikes so far.
The pitch to Drube. Fly ball, right field, and Hafliger is there, and that'll end it. 6-1 Montana, the winner over Wyoming, and they advance to tomorrow's game at 7 p.m. Congratulations to Wyoming, state champs. Their season comes to an end.
Yeah, you know what? They have nothing to be ashamed of. They played hard out here, had a day off to work on some of their game, came out, got 5 hits, scored one in the 6th inning right there to get on the board.
And
a lot to be proud of.
A 6-1 final here. Thanks to Greg Olson. I'm Trey Bender. Join us 11:30. We shift to the West Region, Arizona and Northern California here in San Bernardino. Big game for Mount Sentinel as they move on. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Little League Baseball rolls on from San Bernardino.